Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I wanted to explain why I started my agency, how I did and how I came about all of this, making money at a young age and all of that. Thought it was right to kind of explain to whoever's watching why I decided to, take it this route. So kind of got a small sketched out here about I'm gonna talk about in this video. So one of the main reasons I kind of went on this journey, not necessarily in the agency space, just in general, was to make a little bit of money for myself. It wasn't that I was broke or something like that. I was technically, but it didn't like annoy me or in anything like that. It's just I was seeing people like getting things from their parents, parents buying expensive stuff for their children, stuff like that. And I cannot say I always got expensive things. It didn't necessarily put me off because even at a young age I traveled a lot of the world. I had more than plenty of things. But it just kind of set off a thing in me where like, oh, people are getting stuff and I'm not. So I was like, look, if no one's gonna get it to me, I have to work for it. And that's what everyone should do. You have to work for the things you desire in life. They're not going to be handed out to you. It is one thing that I learned, not the biggest. It's logical, obviously. No one's going to give things to you for free unless, like, obviously you're spoiled or something like that. But you have to go out there and obtain your things. You have to work to get certain things you desire. So in this case for me was, to make a little bit more money. So I kind of got in this small fire in the beginning of, okay, what am I gonna do? I was still playing video games at the time, so Fortnite, FIFA, stuff like that. I was still playing them, but from time to time I would watch videos on like drop shipping or stuff like that, and I'd be like, whoa, this is complicated. I'm so young, no one's doing it at my age. It's not gonna work out for me, stuff like that. So yeah, main reason was kind of to make a little bit more money. Then secondly was to learn a high income skill. So something that, I could use, that I could always make money off. Now that I think about it, maybe the skill that I learned, which is paid advertising, isn't necessarily going to always be here. But for the moment, it's at its peak, and probably not its peak, because there's so many online businesses. Every day there's a new online business looking to run ads, stuff like that. So there's your opportunity, especially if they're in your niche. For example, I target e-commerce and SaaS businesses. I've worked with coaching offers, stuff like that, so I've run ads for that as well. But for e-commerce and SaaS, for example, there's a lot of businesses that you can target in that specific niche, and you can make money if you know your skill and if you've gotten good results with it. Now another one would be, because I wanted to live on my own terms, so I didn't want to have be stuck in a location, then living under someone else's rules, such as a boss or a 9 to 5. I'm not that type of person. I've actually kind of experienced a 9 to 5. Definitely didn't attract me at all. It didn't catch my attention by any chance. It was in fact an internship. Obviously, what I learned the most in that internship was how higher organizations work and how they function and all of that. But in the sense of work wise, I didn't like it that much. So it's not for me, 9 to 5. I would rather wake up and work on my own stuff, knowing that I'm my own boss. So I kind of just want to have this freedom, obviously travel where I want, run my business from where I want, whenever I want. So those are the three things that I wanted. So to make a little bit more money, learn a high income skill, and then obviously freedom, live on my own terms, not have a boss and everything. So how did I start? So first of all, I kind of created a candy shop. So I thought that since I moved here in Romania, there wasn't like exotic candy such as in the United States or everything like that. We had like one shop that would sell it. So I was like, look, I'm gonna compete with them and create everything. I built out a website, added like 1,000 products from all across the world: United States, Japan, South Korea, China, with all types of crazy products that people would order. But obviously, since I was still young, I was like, naming random prices, not really thinking about, how much it costs, how to get them and everything. It would have taken like a huge investment to start such a business. So eventually, after like half a year of working on that website, I kind of stopped. And I kind of got introduced into the agency space on YouTube, saw some videos. I was like, okay, crazy. This seems nice. I was also looking for a business model where I didn't require investment, so something that I could start and just, offer for free. So I kind of decided to do paid ads. Before I did any outreach, I actually learned the skill. And then in December of 2022, I kind of just doubled down on agency. I was still like a very beginner, didn't really know what to do, where to do outreach, what type of outreach, a good offer, how to position myself, stuff like that. So I wasted a lot of time in the beginning learning all of those things. And before that, my agency was actually named Digital Next MA, MA meaning marketing agency. So I didn't really know what to name it, so I just came up with that, and it was AS. Around the beginning of 2023, around there, I kind of changed it. Around mid 2023, actually, I kind of changed it and named it Advertby. Got the domain and everything, so it was unique. So again, before I sold my service, I made sure to learn it well, so that I go when I sign clients, so that I know what I'm doing. And of course, even if you learn it well, it's not well enough until you actually apply your skills and knowledge within the actual campaign. So let's say you're going to war. Obviously, you're getting ready, you're training, you learn how to shoot a gun, whatever you're doing, because maybe you're flying a plane. But let's just say you're a soldier, you shoot a gun, you learn all those things. But when you get into the combat zone, it's not going to be the same thing. So whatever you learned in training, obviously you can apply in the combat zone, but it's not going to be the same thing. So you have to adapt to basically what's going on there, and sometimes the training won't really help you. So same thing here. You learn all the paid ads and everything, you have all the knowledge, but it's not the same thing as in the training zone as it is out there running them. So you still have to get in there and know what you're doing and learn from real life experience technically. So I learned I learned training. I didn't learn experience. So when I signed my first client, I ran ads. They were horrible. Like there were no results basically. And as a matter of fact, the person did pay me, obviously a small amount, just as a motivation to get better. But yeah, everyone starts somewhere. Obviously, if you're not trying to sell your soul, try to package them at like, I don't know, $2,500 a month. It's like your first client, you don't know how to deliver. Obviously, you can go into this arbitrage thing where you hire someone to deliver the service for you. You could do that, but you really need to know what you're doing and what you're selling, because a lot of people do ask for past results and stuff like that. So then I started to learn cold outreach. So I started off with Loom outreach. I would film a Loom for a specific person, send it on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on their email, I think also. So I would send it to their company page as well, and I would try to send it everywhere. So literally everywhere, trying to make them see it on wherever they're going, on which platform they're going. So I got like a person, like I think my first Loom ever, the guy actually responded to my email, and it was quite a big company. We never got on a call, but I would have loved to work with that person. I did numerous follow-ups, never responded. So things like this happen, but it's totally fine. And then got a couple more calls. No clients signed, because obviously I was in the beginning. People weren't really trusting me. I was still young. I'm young now, but like I was young there. Some of the things that I was saying maybe wouldn't be believable at such an age. So didn't really sign any clients in that era. But that didn't stop me. I was still doing outreach. I came across LinkedIn outreach. I started doing LinkedIn outreach. Then I started to do cold calling here in Romania, especially got quite a few calls through cold calling. Didn't sign any of them. And then around November, I signed my first client, and he was from LinkedIn. So yeah, again, his results were quite horrible, but that's what you learn. And then around mid-January, I got my second. It was an e-com client from Romania. Him I got for cold calling. His results were a little better, of course, not some of the best. I think he broke even on the ad results that I got him, but again, not the best. Then I wasn't working with anyone for quite a while, and this is like beginning of 2024. And around July 2024, I got technically my third client, who I still work with to this day because the results are good. She never left. So we started working together. We are averaging around 3.5 to 4x ROAS across these 6 months of working together. So I've made her quite a decent amount of money with the amount we spent on ads. So it's not crazy numbers, but of course, if the numbers were bigger, they would sound crazier. But even with small numbers, you can still get really good results. So, um, again, results are constantly getting better. I got coaching offers that I ran ads for. They were decent results. Obviously, it's something relatively new for me also since I'm not necessarily running e-commerce ads. I'm running coaching offers. So the angle, the lead forms are different and all that type of stuff. So this is where I kind of am in the present. And think about it, it took me 2 years already at this point to get to where I am. In 2 years, a lot of people would be at like 50K a month. I didn't have the right roadmap. I didn't invest in any course. I learned everything either myself or through YouTube. I'm not saying it's smart, but obviously it's good to be guided. But I didn't want to spend crazy amount of money on a course, $1,000, $2,000 on a coaching. I'm not that type of person. Like, of course, it could get me far, but I'm not the type of person to do it. It's just a lot of money for me. Of course, if I invested it in myself, I would believe it. But now, since I know a lot of things and I actually quite know a lot of people, I don't feel like I need a coaching. Sometimes it seems really, really attractive to get a coaching, but I feel like whatever they say in the coaching is not going to help me. Unless maybe it's like, help me remake my offer, help me remake my personalized outreach that I send, stuff like that. So through experience, I learned everything, and I just became better at what I do. So that's where I am right now. And this month, December, it's been all about back end work, kind of creating a bit of a new offer. So my service isn't necessarily easy to sell. Paid ads, for example, if I was in video editing, I would have probably made a lot more money because it's quite easy to sell video editing. But paid ads isn't necessarily an easy thing to sell because obviously it requires an investment from their side to invest into the ads, and then it requires them to pay you also. Obviously, if you're working with huge companies who have all this money, that's not a problem. But if you're working with like mid-sized companies who are making a couple $1,000 a month, tens of thousands of dollars a month, and maybe they have employees and their margins aren't the best, then it's kind of an issue because again, some people suggest that you invest a couple $1,000s into ads every single month, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. So all these things come into your mind and everything, but we're moving forward. As of next month, I have technically a couple sales calls, so I have two, which isn't a lot, but one is technically signed. That's for a coaching offer, and then we're gonna start off with email, sending cold emails, automated mass emails. We're gonna send hopefully next month, starting the year off strong with this, and then hopefully we get some e-commerce clients in that. I really want to get back into the e-commerce SaaS thing, and yeah, that's the plan. I did want to get to 10K a month this year. Really, really unexpected, but I worked hard. Cannot complain. I really did work hard, but you don't always get what you want. So, yeah, that's pretty much my whole story of how I came about these things. And yeah, if you put your mind to it, to starting a business, it could work out. In my opinion, if you have the right roadmap, what you're doing, maybe the right guidance, you could achieve good numbers, good success. And it's a lot to say half a year. I would say a bit over half a year you can achieve a lot if you stay in the same place, you work every single day, you follow a routine, you're guided, you have a roadmap, everything. You can achieve everything in half a year. And it's completely honest, whoever says it is correct. It's just you need to be guided, you have to have a roadmap and show up every day. Like no traveling, no distractions. You're showing up to work every single day. Because I've traveled to the United States and then I came back in September. I haven't left Romania ever since. So these have been my most successful months. I've made the most money right now, just because I've worked every single day and stayed in the same place. Besides that, Obviously I'm traveling now for end of the year, but that's fine. You get to take a break from time to time. Obviously in New Year's, but you know, I'm still working. I worked on Christmas. Today is the second day after Christmas. I'm still working. So don't want to make this video too long. It seems like it's 15 minutes or so, but again, I mentioned this. I'm documenting my journey. You can see videos from 2023. I think this channel is almost 2 years old. And I wasn't making money back then. If you put your mind to something, you will achieve it. If you not necessarily achieve it, whatever you want to get in life, you can achieve it if you put your mind to it and work. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that it's possible. This is my whole journey. You can see everything that I documenting, all my past videos explaining about the agency, what I do in my life and everything. But I wanted to make this video to kind of explain that my history with this agency. So it's not something that I was gifted, it's something that I made, and I hope that it stays here. I want to scale it until I cannot anymore, and then, you know, go on to other ventures and try other things. I hope this is a bit of motivation for you guys to, you know, work hard for your agencies, for your businesses, and don't ever give up, because I'm not where I want to be, but I know I will through patience and hard work. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, good luck.